Twins Brewers series on Fox Sports North is presented by Mall of America. Plan your next trip at mallofamerica.com. Another invasion of Brewers fans tonight in downtown Minneapolis. Over 30,000 have made Target Field their destination for a Saturday night showdown between the Twins and Brewers here on Fox Sports North. Always electricity when these teams get together. That's especially true tonight. A pair of promising rookies. Milwaukee's 21-year-old Freddie Peralta, who fanned 13 in his debut last Sunday. And fire-throwing Fernando Romero, 2-0 to start the season with an ERA under 1. Welcome to Twins Baseball on Fox Sports North alongside the former American League Most Valuable Player Justin Morneau. I'm Tom Hanneman. Great to have you with us. Twins out-muscled by Milwaukee 8-3 last night. It was Max Kepler who produced all three of the Twins' runs. You've talked about how much more comfortable this young man has looked at the plate. He's got a balanced approach right now.
He does, and he just looks confident. He knows he's going to play every day. When Buxton went down with the injury, he started playing a lot of center field, and he knew he was going to be in the lineup every day. He didn't feel like he had to get 2 or 3 hits to make sure Paul Molitor wouldn't think about taking him out of the lineup just because the lefty was throwing. So when you know you're coming to the park every day, that you're going to be in the lineup, that you're playing, it allows you that sort of comfort level. You don't put that added pressure on yourself. And then his balance at the plate looks phenomenal. It looks like he's starting to make some adjustments, and he's handled all pitches well. I mean, he's hitting rockets to all fields. He's hitting homers on fastballs. He's hitting breaking balls hard. He's just up there looking like a hitter that's really maturing before our eyes and really developing into something pretty special. And I think one of the most important things a young hitter can know is what they do well, what pitches they hit well. And you see with the hot zones, he knows that he hits the ball middle, as most hitters do, but then he's hitting the ball on the inside part of the plate very well too. So when you're aware of what your strengths are, you can go up there in your at-bats and play to your strengths, look for what you're good at, look what you know what you want to hit. And he's done that, and he's been successful with it.
Pair of promising rookie starters step onto center stage tonight. Dick Bramer, Bert Blyleven examine the early strengths on the mound of Fernando Romero and Freddie Peralta.
Presented by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today.
The weather has certainly changed, and tonight the Twins hope the results change at home. Game 2 of 3 between the Brewers and the Minnesota Twins. Twins losing the opener of the series last night here at Target Field, and we welcome you to the ballpark. Dick Bramer along with Burt Blyleven. And what we have here today is a strong counter argument to the notion that pitchers need some time at AAA to excel in the big leagues, because the two starting pitchers here tonight have hardly had more than a cup of coffee in AAA.
And they're making quite a point right now at the major league level. Only 4 starts between these two young men from the Dominican Republic for the Minnesota Twins. It will be Romero. Fernando Romero has been outstanding in his 3 major league starts. You can see the earned run average under 1. He's a guy that attacks the strike zone very aggressively in that zone. He has a good fastball. There's the hard slider. Not afraid to go out and compete. And he has a lot of confidence. And for the Milwaukee Brewers, making just his 2nd major league start, Freddie Peralta. And what a first major league start it was against the Colorado Rockies in Colorado. Took the no-hitter into the 6th inning, and he ended up giving up 1 hit, 13 strikeouts in that ballgame. This should be a good pitching matchup on paper.
Last year, the Twins ran the table on the Brewers, winning all 4 games. Tonight, they'd like to even the series at a game apiece.
For the Twins.
Got him. Strike 3, and a very strong first impression from Fernando Romero. There's a called 3rd strike as he paints the corner with the slider. Strike 3. Breaking ball. Got him. 0-2. That was a swing and a miss. Wow.
He continues to prove it.
It hasn't been just the first impression. It's been the 2nd impression, the 3rd impression, and tonight now the 4th impression. His 4th major league start, hoping to pitch the Twins back into the win column. He has really given this team and the pitching staff a big lift. Fernando Romero will take the mound against Craig Counsell and the Brewers. And the Brewers lineup brought to you by Menards. Lorenzo Cain in the leadoff spot. Then Christian Yelich, Jesus Aguilar, Travis Shaw, Domingo Santana, Ji-Man Choi, Jonathan Villar, Manny Pena, and Orlando Arcia.
And the home furniture. Scouting report on Fernando Romero, making, as you mentioned, Dick, just his 4th major league start. So far, so good. He has pitched a total of 16 2/3 innings. He allowed 11 hits, only 1 run. 9 walks, 20 strikeouts.
His 3rd start, his most recent start, was in some ways the most impressive, even though he actually gave up a run. He was matched up against Shohei Ohtani. He didn't have his best stuff, but he battled through 5 innings and gave up just the 1 run on 4 hits. And Paul Molitor said, you know, in a lot of ways that was kind of a gutty performance by the rookie to be able to do what he did and keep the damage to a minimum, even though he wasn't nearly as sharp as he was in the first 2 starts.
And that's what's the sign of a hopefully a future good pitcher, is the one that can make the adjustments when he's not at his best.
1-1 to Kane. And outside 2-1.
And really, Dick, what is your best as your pitcher? You know, you go out there and you try to find out early, and that's what he's doing right here. How's my fastball? How's the location? What will the umpire give me? Can I hit that fastball down and away? My 2-seamer has some sink on it.
Now up high into the backstop. It's 3-1. Romero has walked 3 in each of his first 3 starts. And he falls behind Kane 3-1. Tapper foul.
I think what we have seen Romero do too is he's got that fastball at times. He can get it 97, 98, but then all of a sudden he'll drop down. That last fastball at 95. He might drop one at 93. So it's not all 97, 98, 97, 98. He changes speeds with that fastball a little bit.
Just low, and it's an opening walk. Brewers jumped on Kyle Gibson last night, not in the first inning, but they got a run in the second, 3 in the third, and kind of took control of the game. So we'll see if Romero can pitch around the leadoff walk. Here's the Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Jake Cave making his major league debut. He gets center field tonight. Kepler in right, Rosario in left. Escobar, Adrianza, Dozier, and Morris in the infielders. Bobby Wilson catching his 2nd straight game. And there is Yelich taking a strike.
And it's important for Romero to do that right there, because no Brewer has faced Romero before. So it's kind of like Suter did last night.
Right.
Get strike 1, and then it puts that hitter along a little bit of a defense.
Hacked foul, and it's 0-2.
Well, Romero's had a couple double plays turned behind him in his first 3 major league starts.
16 2/3 innings, and he's allowed 20 base runners, but just 1 run so far. 0-2 to Yelich. And a lob to first.
Well, Kane at first base, 10 stolen bases in 12 attempts, and the Brewers do like to run. They have 31 stolen bases in 40 attempts.
Two strikes to Christian Yelich. And a breaking ball off the handle of the bat, foul over the screen.
You know, last night's ball game with Yelich up in his first season with the Brewers coming over from Miami. Kyle Gibson really worked him in his first 2 at-bats hard inside. And that breaking ball was inside, but Yelich fouled it off. Watch Wilson behind the plate. Where will he move? He'll move once that ball is delivered toward home plate, going back inside.
To right center field and deep, chased by Cave and Kepler, and Cave makes the catch. He was playing Yelich in left center field and had to make the catch in right center. Boy, if you're making your major league debut, I would think you want the ball hit to you right away. That wasn't really hit at him, but he made a nice play.
Well, you know he's excited. You know he's got a lot of energy, so he showed some of that energy after that long running catch.
There he is, acquired in mid-March on a waiver claim from the Yankees. Runs pretty well, and we've already seen that in evidence. Paul Molitor was wondering about where to put Cave in the lineup. Thought about maybe letting Kepler play center, put Cave in right. But Cave makes a nice play for the first out, and now here's Jesus Aguilar. 2 home runs in the ball game last night.
Yeah, 2 pitches middle in, so if you're going to go in on this big man right here, you have to go hard in. Gibson made a mistake in his first at bat, excuse me, his second at bat when he hit the 2-run home run in the 3rd inning.
Big swing and a miss, got the breaking ball to open the at bat. 0-1.
Romero, just 23 years old, from the Dominican Republic, signed by the Twins back in 2011. 7 seasons in the Twins organization.
And strike to Aguilar. Nice block by Wilson. I'll be interested. I'm excited for you because I don't believe you've seen Romero pitch in person yet, right?
No, you know what? I think I saw. No, I have not.
Right. So
only on TV, which I feel like I have. But you know, he does a good job of staying back now in the stretch position. He'll try to keep Kane close to first, so he'll try to utilize that slide step.
1-1. And a fastball fouled back.
Yeah, he made his major league debut on May 2nd. There's a home run right there. That's what I was talking about, middle in. If you're going to go in, you better go hard in on this man. And then Hillenberger left a changeup that he hit the foul pole. Home, if you want to call it the fair pole, it was a home run, a solo home run.
There goes Kane, and the pitch lifted foul. Coming into today's start, 20 strikeouts for Romero in 16 2/3 innings.
You know, sometimes we have to look at the minor league numbers for Romero. 6 minor league seasons in the Twins organization, averaging less than 3 walks per 9 inning. That's very good, and about 8.7 strikeouts in the minor leagues, and 314 strikeouts in 325 innings pitched.
Another 1-2 to Aguilar. What a pickup by Wilson. That ball landed in the left-handed batter's box. Not only did he block it, he caught it.
Unbelievable right there. You know, these sometimes are things that you don't see or get credited. What a save right there by Wilson. That kept Kane at first base.
Yeah, you get a ground ball here, you're out of the inning maybe.
Exactly.
Base hit, doesn't score a run. 2-2. And I said this a few games ago when I believe it was when we were in Anaheim. Somebody made a great play retrieving a ball that was down near the tarp area here, although I think it was in Anaheim. It was Simmons, shortstop, made a great play. There was no out recorded, but it might have been the biggest defensive play of the whole game. So we tend to associate web gems or whatever you want to call them with outs being recorded, when in fact some of the better fielding plays simply deny advancement on the bases.
Well, you know what, you look at Wilson behind the plate. He's in the big leagues because he is an outstanding receiver.
2-2. Popped up near home plate. Wilson coming back and just over the screen. Little, I'm trying to figure out, I guess the wind is blowing in from left, and maybe the wind helped push that ball out of the field of play.
Don't see too many pop-ups, you know, that the catcher has a chance to go back because there's not much room in foul territory. There was one last night. We could go through a whole homestand with a pop-up to the catcher behind the plate.
17th pitch of the first inning from Romero.
Make it a ground ball pitch.
And another foul ball into the seats.
Aguilar, 27 years old, coming from the Cleveland Indian organization a couple years ago. Kind of a breakthrough year last year. Got a chance to play on a regular basis. Ended up hitting 16 home runs. Hit 265 in 133 games.
2-2 again. And Wilson is able to pick that up, firing to second, and the ball hits Kane and rolls into short left field, and Kane will go to third. So Wilson had another really difficult pitch to try to stop. He slowed it down, Kane slid into second on what will be a wild pitch, and there'll be an error charge to Wilson.
Well, I took a look, that backhanded it, and then a pretty good throw, but Dozier has to come off the bag, and the ball gets by Brian, ends up ricocheting off Kane. He scoots over to third base. Yeah, hit Kane in the thigh area right there. So Kane, seeing the ball that it went into short left field, and made it to third.
Twins bring the infield in here in the first inning. Full count now to Aguilar. Fly ball center field. And Cave retreats. Kane will tag and score. And the Brewers, without the benefit of a hit, have scored the first run of the game.
And that's what we saw in last night's ball game. The Brewers have been able to take advantage in game one, last night, on when there's a runner in scoring position. They have seemed to be able to drive them in.
And their record on this road trip would suggest it's not a recent phenomenon. They took 3 out of 4 from the Rockies at Coors Field, 2 out of 3 from the Diamondbacks, and now they won the first game last night by doing what they have just done already here tonight.
Aguilar getting his 18th run batted in.
And now ball 1 to Travis Shaw. Dribbled foul when we were in Anaheim, and there were a few leadoff walks. It was Torrey Hunter's contention that 88% of leadoff walks score. I think I talked him down to like 38% by the end of the 4-game series. But the leadoff walk has scored again here in the first inning tonight.
I remember Roy Smalley's uncle Gene Mock, always said that he mentioned to me one time 70% of all walks score.
So there's a big gap.
That's a walk to lead off an inning.
Right.
It's not just a walk with 2 outs. It's a leadoff walk.
But that's still a big gap from 38 to 70 to 88.
Somewhere in there.
Yes. Somewhere in there lies the truth.
Yes.
But the fact is, you shouldn't do it, right? Whether it's 38 or 88.
You don't want to do it. And believe me, when you're out on that mound and you walk that leadoff hitter, it upsets you. I'm sure Romero, just too many pitches right now.
24th pitch of the inning, 2-2 the count. And that ball jammed him in a little dribbler foul. As impressive as he's been, Romero's only completed 6 innings once. That was in his second start in St. Louis. He's matched up against the Cardinals, pitched well, picked up his second big league win. And now 3-2, and Wilson's had a full night's work already in this first inning, trying to block pitches in the dirt.
When the age of pitch counts, you do not like your starter to have this type of inning in the first 2 or 3 innings.
And he walked Shaw. So we've had 2 walks, 2 fly balls, and now Domingo Santana. The pitches that have led to the walks haven't been close to the strike zone.
Yeah, this is a good visit right here by Garvin Alston. This is good because right now he looks a little bit too amped up. You got to slow down a little bit. And Garvin Alston going out there to just try to settle him down. Take a deep breath.
And the meeting breaks up, and a first inning mound visit. Santana with a man aboard and 2 down. Yeah, that missed the outside corner by about a foot. Wilson's had to backhand a lot of pitches here in this first inning. 26 pitches, 15 strikes, but the 11 balls have been all over the place. Indians beat the Astros 5-4. Some early run support for Corey Kluber, and that's usually all it takes. Astros made it close, so the Indians are already in the win column. There's a strike, 1-1. cause Santana to go back and get a new one.
That's a good pitch right there. A two-seamer ran in on Santana. He is expecting maybe a four-seam fastball. Getting new lumber. Take a look at the movement right here, right at the end. See that ball run in on him? Tying up Santana and breaking his bat.
Pitch number 30 here in this first inning. Fernando Romero. Roller to short. And that wraps things up. The Brewers get a first inning run without a hit. 1-0. On an air, came home on a fly ball, and it's 1-0. The Menards batting order for the Twins as they find themselves behind early again. Brian Dozier back in the leadoff spot with Joe Mauer going on the disabled list today. Max Kepler, Eddie Rosario, Eduardo Escobar, Logan Morrison, Robbie Grossman, Jake Cave, A-Ray Adrianza, and Bobby Wilson.
And a home furniture starting pitcher report on Freddie Peralta. Well, 98 pitches used in his major league debut in Colorado. 89 fastballs, a couple breaking by eight curveballs, one changeup, and that was the hit that Dahl got for the base hit with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
Here's Brian Dozier to lead things off for the Twins. And there is strike one, an off-speed pitch right away.
See, I can throw a changeup without somebody getting a base hit. Took that no-hitter into that 6th inning. Peralta just 21 years old.
Great personal story. His family, who had never seen him pitch professionally, came up from the Dominican Republic, and they were expecting to see him pitch on a Sunday in Colorado Springs. Well, there was an injury, an illness actually, on the major league staff. Fortuitously, the big league club was in Denver, and it's about an hour's drive from Colorado Springs to Denver. So the family, watching him pitch professionally for the first time, didn't see him pitch in AAA. They saw him pitch in the big leagues, and he took a no-hitter into the 6th inning. 3-1 now to Dozier. Kepler and Rosario will follow. And now Peralta issues a leadoff ball.
Well, both starters here, kind of the cardinal sin, and let's do the scouting report on Peralta. Shows composure on the mound. We're only going off one start. They say had great composure in his major league debut in Colorado. And I think the Twins offense, they have to look early for that fastball, and maybe that's why he's changing speeds already in that first at bat to Dozier.
Here's Kepler at a good night at the plate last night. About the only thing that went right for the Twins last night. Kepler with a home run and another near home run, resulting in a double. 1-0. The average up to 252 with a 9-point spike last night. Waiting and swing and a miss. 1-1. Twins just 1-3 on this homestand with 5 games left. Taken low, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, Peralta getting the opportunity to get that start in Colorado, but he had some very good numbers at Colorado Springs AAA. 7 starts, 5-1 record. ERA about 3.6.
Fouled back. And that's about it for his fastball. 90, 91, 92. This is not a flame-throwing 21-year-old prospect. So he throws or threw almost exclusively fastballs in Coors Field against the Rockies and nearly made baseball history. 2-2. And now a full count to Kepler, and we'll see if the Twins dare send Brian Dozier.
Well, Brian with a couple stolen bases in 4 attempts. Twins as a ball club not running much. 14 stolen bases in 20 attempts.
Dozier being held on by Choi.
I say you send him right here.
There he goes, big leg kick, and it is ball 4. So Dozier will advance to second on a walk. And Peralta, Dozier straight from the bag, and Arcia went back to tag his foot. And Dozier appears to be all right after the head first slide. Check out the Brewers in the field. Yelich in left, Kane in center, Santana in right. Travis Shaw, Orlando Arcia, Jonathan Villar, Ji-Man Choi, and Manny Pena. Choi was a teammate of Peralta's at Colorado Springs until Thursday night when he was pulled from the game in Colorado Springs and sent to Minneapolis. The home run in his first at bat last night. Here's Eddie Rosario. Didn't have many scoring opportunities last night, and when they had them, they let them slip between their fingers. Rosario having some words with Mark Ripperger.
Take a look. There's not too many pitches that get by Eddie Rosario. He thought that ball was inside, but it looked like it just clipped the inner corner of that strike zone.
He may have told Ripperger, look, could you ask the pitcher to throw that pitch there again?
You saw that little, almost like a little cutter ball. They say it's almost like a sailor. There's a break ground ball.
And it's a double play with Arcia pulled over on the right side of the bag. The ball hit right to him. He scrambled to the bag, and while Dozier does go to third base, it's a big double play for Peralta, who had walked the first 2 batters. Bring up Escobar. So we were talking about last night, the Twins early in the ball game last night at second and third, nobody out, didn't score, and it's like all the air went out of the balloon at that moment. Here is Escobar with the Twins in need of a 2-out hit.
Escobar, good night at the plate. 3 hits in last night's ball game.
Pitch is up, ball 1. One to 0. Checked his swing. 2-0. 15 pitches for Peralta and only 5 strikes in his debut. As brilliant as it was,
5 2/3 innings. He only walked 2 and struck out 13. He's walked 2 already here tonight. There's a strike, 2-1. Peralta came to the Brewers from Seattle 3.5 years ago. There were some other players involved, but Adam Lind went from Milwaukee to Seattle. And Brewers ended up with a teenager, and right now that former teenager's on the mound after a brilliant debut. Outside, 3-1. Morrison on deck.
Yeah, Peralta in his 6 minor league seasons, 400 innings pitched in the minor leagues, averaging about 3.5 walks per 9 innings and just over 10 strikeouts. So over a strikeout an inning in the minor leagues. Took that into his major league debut.
Well, threw him a breaking ball on 3-1, and now it's 3-2.
A pretty good pitch right here in a fastball situation. Straight over the top, curveball.
Now a full count. And he strikes out Escobar with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. And the Twins take a couple of walks but can't score a run.
In the second inning, it's time to get some scoop from the clubhouse. It's been an exciting 24 hours for Jake Cave, who's making his MLB debut here today. He got the phone call last night about midnight, jumped on a 6:30 a.m. flight today, not expecting to be in the lineup, but he said he's very appreciative of the fact that Byron Buxton gave him some tips about the Milwaukee lineup and about this ballpark. And Dick, I'll turn it over to you. We'll finish this in a second.
And Rosario at the catch. That wind kept the ball in the ballpark, with Choi almost doing in his first at bat tonight what he succeeded in doing last night, but he hit it up into the teeth of the wind and it came down to Rosario. One away. Go ahead, Audra.
All right. Well, and speaking of Byron Buxton, Paul Molitor is hoping the day off will help him get back on track at the plate. He said he's putting a lot of pressure on himself to find his swing again, pressing to get hits. When he tries to be patient, he ends up getting behind. And when he tries to be aggressive, he expands the zone. So sometimes just sitting back to watch can help slow things down in your own mind. And Miguel Sano is starting his rehab stint today in Rochester. He'll DH today, play 5 innings at third tomorrow, DH on Monday, 7 innings on Tuesday, and hopefully 9 innings on Wednesday if that goes well. They said he tentatively could be back for the upcoming road trip, guys.
All right, thank you, Audra. 1-0 with Villar at the plate. I think the Twins were looking forward to this homestand to be a homestand that would be also a return to health, if not for everybody who was hurt. Certainly hoping that Sano would have been ready to come back by this time. Buxton would get more games under his belt, and he'd be ready to swing the bat after
an adjustment from the disabled list.
Yeah, then we come to the ballpark and we find out that Joe Mauer's put on a disabled list.
A couple days after Jason Castro was lost for the season, being put on the disabled list. 3-1 now to VR. You're looking at the Twins lineup, and injuries happen to everybody, but right now there are more backup players in the starting lineup and will be in the starting lineup than the regular players. Twins Bobby Wilson, the catcher, didn't even start the year with the team, and the infield is all, you know, plan B position players except for Dozier. This one a line to left, and Rosario's there for the catch, 2 away. And then you got Jake Cave, who's in center field playing in his first major league game. This is, of course, a cause of concern because of Joe's history. Concussion-like symptoms. He's on the 10-day disabled list. The Twins did not diagnose it as a concussion. They could have, if it were a concussion, used the 7-day concussion list. But
well, it was the Twins last night that kind of pulled the string on Joe. Joe wanted to go up there. He wanted to try to fight through it. He did it in Anaheim, so it's been a while that he's had this issue. Tried to fight through it, but better to what he's doing now. Get on the disabled list, get healthy again if you can, and come back strong.
Pena, the batter, and he hits one down the line foul. Paul Molitor said that Joe's not even going to come to the ballpark. Didn't come today, won't come tomorrow, and then maybe they'll see about Monday. 40th pitch coming up for Fernando Romero. Morrison figures to get most of the time at first base. Adrianza can play over there.
Well, you don't like to see injuries, and someone that played a long time, you know, have teammates that got hurt. I myself got hurt. You know, it's opportunity. It's opportunity for other players to step up.
1-2. And Romero thought he might have clipped the corner, but the plate umpire said no.
Yeah, slider right here, and you watch Wilson catch the ball and then try to bring it back a little bit, but the ball is outside.
And off the end of the bat. Haven't had many swings and misses. The Brewers putting some swings on Romero, at least fighting pitches off and fouling them off. 2-2. Still no hits for the Brewers, yet they have a run because of some wildness by Romero, and now in the dirt. 3-2. Well, the Twins played well last year, the last 2 months of the year, essentially without Miguel Sano, but they've had a hard time playing and winning ball games with both Sano and Buxton out. There's a breaking ball, and Pena strikes out. And a better inning, a 1-2-3 second inning for Fernando Romero.
stocking caps?
Well, it's not snowing. That's good.
That's true. Dairy Queen combination. You can see Peralta with 12 strikeouts on his fastball in his debut. And he got through the first inning okay. Big double play ground ball off the bat of Rosario. Helped him pitch around a couple of walks to start the inning. Logan Morrison will lead off the second for the Twins. Outside, ball one. With Mauer going on the disabled list again, we'll expect to see Logan Morrison principally as the Twins' first baseman.
He's been swinging a little bit better bat as of late. See if he can catch up one of those fastballs.
Strike on the outside corner. You know, the one thing Peralta's done, I mean, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. We're not even talking 10 innings yet in the big leagues. But if he knows he's got limited velocity, 90, 91, and he can locate that, well, he can succeed. You know, I mean, it's, you know, location, but there's no margin for error in this day and age of 95 to 98 mile per hour velocity if you can't locate the fastball that you have. Inside, and it's 3-1, and he's having a hard time locating everything tonight.
He just missed an inch or two by right there with that fastball, but I think Pena, the catcher, is going to have him change speeds a little bit more here tonight because the report was out. 98 pitches, 90, 89 fastballs. Already, I think we've seen more breaking balls than he threw in his major league debut.
And there's ball four to Morrison. He's faced 5 men and walked 3 of them. That'll bring up Robbie Grossman. June 1st is Skull Night at Target Field. A limited number of Skull theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a Twins purple Skull cap. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/skull or call 800-33-TWINS. Already 3 walks, and now the patient Robbie Grossman stands in. And there is a called strike, 0-1.
Come on, Robbie. Come on.
Morrison saying thank you very much for throwing over.
We saw the Brewers do that last night with, was it Escobar on first, and they threw over about 4 or 5 times. Inside, 1-1. 26 pitches and just 10 strikes from Peralta. Two and 1. And just 2 walks issued in his major league debut, covering 5 2/3 innings at Coors Field against the Rockies. That's looped to right field and down for a hit. And Morrison goes to second. The Twins with another chance here in the second inning. First and second, nobody out.
Now high fastball right there. Grossman hitting it short into right field. So Twins do pick up their first hit. Let's see if they can take advantage of this situation. See the high fastball.
Jake came in his major league debut. He had family coming today. They were supposed to get to the ballpark right around first pitch. And now here he is, having been picked up by the Twins in the middle of March. And now in the middle of May, he's making his major league debut. Last time we shot a family member recording the first at bat, Rosario went deep on the first pitch. He takes outside a ball.
That cave in AAA. hit .265. He did have one home run, drove in 17 runs.
Joel Skinner said that Cave had been swinging it really well as of late. That's why he was the player selected. 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. He's an athlete. He's seen some pretty good speed in the outfield already. They think eventually he'll hit for more power.
Originally signed by the Yankees in 2011 out of Hampton, Virginia. High school.
1-1. At the knees. It's 1-2.
Now 6 seasons in the Yankee minor league system, a .285 hitter, 39 home runs.
Take your pitch.
He hit 1 home run in Rochester.
Foul back. Trying to get the game tied up in his first big league at bat. And another 1-2 pitch to Jake Cave. Tapper right side. Out at second and out at first, and Jeff Smith says you got to take a look at that, and Paul Molitor says hold on just a second. Cave does run well, and we'll see where the Twins use the second inning challenge here, try to keep a little life in this second inning rally.
Villar over to Arcia. Arcia's relay throw got some on it. Bang bang play. I think
Paul Molitor's coming out to chat with Mark Ripperger, and they're going to have an umpire conference. This is not a review. I'm not sure what the manager has asked the umpires to do here. Let's take a look.
Well, maybe not on.
I think
Arcia on the bat.
Well, he's safe right there. But Paul had a specific message apart from just challenging the call to Mark Ripperger.
Well, you wonder if Arcia had, when he turned to double play, did he have a foot on second base bag?
Oh, we assume that the challenge is at first base.
Right.
And maybe that's why Paul wanted to make it abundantly clear what they want to challenge. You're right. Maybe it is the play at second base. At any rate, you can challenge one, but not two parts of a play. So we'll have to wait and see. We believe. Well, we're told now that they are challenging both the out at second and the out at first. We think we have evidence of Cave being safe at first, but that's what Paul came out to talk to Mark Ripperger about. Apparently feeling that Arcia did not have the bag engaged when he had the baseball. Let's take a look at the play at second base.
Watch Arcia go on the outfield side.
Did he kick the bag? I'm guessing they're going to be out. It's going to be out at second, safe at first, out, and safe at first. Okay. So not a double play, and Cave will reach on a fielder's choice.
And on the play, Morrison goes over to third.
And it'll be Adrianza's job to get him 90 feet home. So the Twins avoid a double play for the second inning in a row. And now Adrianza with runners at first and third and one down. Adrianza with just 3 runs batted in on the year. This would be a big one. Outside, ball 1. Morrison walked. Then there was a single, a challenge double play ruling. Want to know? 2-0. 35 pitches and only 15 strikes. And now 3-0 to Adrianza with Bobby Wilson on deck.
Well, you can see the jersey of Peralta just really flying around, so that wind on the field, tough sometimes as a pitcher to try to focus and get that ball. Look at the jersey right there. Feel the cool breeze.
Oh, it's a cool breeze tonight. And Adrianza green lighted on 3-0, and he fouled it straight back. Wow. Maybe a sign of a team struggling offensively, and the manager says, yeah, go ahead, take a shot at it. See if he can hit a double. 3-1 now. There goes the runner, Cave, and the pitch fouled over the dugout. Peralta, not the biggest guy in the world. They list him at 6 feet, 168 pounds. There's the infamous story of another slightly built pitcher at Candlestick Park, Stu Miller, who got blown off the mound because of the wind at Candlestick Park. So maybe there's a little something like that going on with Peralta. For whatever reason, he's really struggling with his control. Now time call.
Oh, I need Tommy Hall to come back. The Blade.
The Blade. They didn't have radar guns back then, but from what I hear, Tommy Hall threw harder than 90 miles per hour.
Yes, he did. He could bring it.
3-2 to Adrianza. There goes Cave again, and the pitch fouled away again. Well, the Twins have hit into a ground ball double play and almost hit into another one this inning.
Cave at AAA had 4 stolen bases in 6 attempts, like you mentioned. Good speed. Sure, he'll be taken off again.
The thing they're wheeling away is actually a cooling unit. That was in play yesterday in the dugouts, and they've switched it now to heat. Cave goes, swung on and missed. There will be no throw. Second and third with 2 down, and it'll be left to Bobby Wilson.
Cave will be credited with a stolen base, his first major league, of course, stolen base. What a strikeout of Adrianza, gets a second out. And second strikeout for Peralta. So again, straight over the top fastball. Nothing overpowering, but Adrianza swings through it.
There were a lot of Rockies that weren't overpowered, but they still swung and missed in his debut. Well, the Twins need a pick-me-up here from Bobby Wilson. Second and third, 2 away. Out in front, strike 1. Maybe that's the challenge. This day and age here in 2018, you're facing a starting pitcher. Well, I guess Suter didn't overpower anybody last night, but 91 is underwhelming in terms of velocity. We've seen a lot of hitters that seem to be out in front of it.
Well, you could throw 91, but it looks like 94 because of that right there. He's got good follow through. He really brings his hand through to release that baseball. Yeah, it's not 97, 98, but it's got some pop on it, a little giddy up. And I think a lot of hitters would say that he's sneaky fast.
Yeah. Well, Wilson in an 0-2 hole. Peralta's walked the leadoff man in each of the first 2 innings, a total of 3 walks. 2 strikes to the Twins catcher. Backing out of play.
Well, both starters here so far using a lot of pitches. 44 pitches for Romero in 2 innings, and this will be pitch number 44 here for Peralta.
outside. 19 at bats for Wilson, and he's got 5 runs batted in. He had a big home run a few nights ago. A couple of sacrifice flies. We don't want one of those here. 1-2. Gets to the gap in left center field, carrying a long way. That ball is off the wall, and it'll score 2. Bobby Wilson with a big 2-out double, putting the Twins in front. He was behind 0-2, and then came through.
Well, it looked like a fastball down, and we saw Wilson when he hit his home run. That pitch was down, and right there, just driving it to the 377 mark here at Target Field. 92-mile-an-hour fastball went down and hit it sharply. So a big 2-run single by Bobby Wilson gives the Twins a 2-1 lead.
All right, 20 at bats, 7 runs batted in. Here's Brian Dozier. Walk got as far as third base in the first inning. Swing and a miss. The worst thing any player could do is put pressure on yourself when others are unable to play, whether it's Mauer, Sano, Buxton. Tapper up the line foul, but the Twins really would like to get Brian Dozier going here in terms of getting some productive at bats, some doubles and home runs. He's yet to hit a home run here at Target Field. And the average trickling downward, 237. Now it's Dozier behind in the count, 0-2. From the hole, Arcia rifles his throw, and keeping his foot on the bag is Choi. And Jeff Smith says, yeah, I guess he kept his foot on the bag. Twins get a big pick-me-up from Bobby Wilson, a 2-run double, and they lead it 2-1. Two-out hit from Bobby Wilson to get it done. Dick Bramer, Audra Martin, Bert Blyleven, and Justin Morneau here is with Twins hoping to even the series at a game apiece.
Welcome back.
2-out hitting is wonderful, isn't it? The team can look so good when they get a 2-out hit here or there.
Yeah, I was sitting up there. I said maybe that just releases that pressure valve,
well,
that everyone might be feeling.
You see it all the time, though, don't you? I mean, everybody's white knuckling it there and squeezing the bat handle, and then somebody. Wilson hit that ball hard. It might be, you know, a little Texas leaguer that drops in, a couple of runs score, and everybody relaxes more.
Yeah, it's the old adage that hitting is contagious. It's one of those things where guys are on base, and I think the walks obviously help. The more guys you have on base, the more pressure there is on the pitcher to make pitches, and any hit scores a run basically. And Bobby has shown a lot of offense in his limited playing time. It's been nice to see.
Here's Arcia, 9th man to bat for the Brewers. They have yet to pick up a hit. 2-1 from Fernando Romero.
Well, as a pitcher, too, you know, you get that 1-run lead. Now it's important for you to go out and do what he did last inning, a 1-2-3 inning, but he's been really struggling with his control here early.
2 walks in the first, and now 3-1 to Arcia, leading off the third. And now 3-2.
I'm wondering, with seeing both guys struggle as much as they are, if the weather is affecting them, the colder weather, if they're having a tough time getting the feel, going from some real humid days and warm days to all of a sudden it's cold and they don't have that same feel on the ball.
Ground ball to Dozier. He's got an easy play. 1 away, and Romero gets through the lineup the first time without allowing a hit. All right. Pizza Ranch for the win. What do the Twins have to do here to get back in a win column?
Yeah, I was going to say they have to score more runs than the opponent, but I could do that night after night and hopefully get a win. But here they need to continue to get quality innings from Romero. Now, he struggled in the first inning. He got through the second inning on 14 pitches. He needs some quicker innings to get into the hopefully 5th, 6th, and I'd hate to say 7th, but at least 6 innings.
Ball 1 outside to Lorenzo Cain.
Continue to pound the strike zone, but he's been missing a lot. 50 pitches with 51 pitches, only 30 strikes.
Chopper over the mound. Dozier's there, and the flip to Morrison, 2 away. And those 2 pitch outs will help an awful lot. And
you get that by trusting your fastball, and Romero will learn that as time goes. You know, his first 3 starts have been outstanding, but he hasn't gone deep into the ball game. You know, 5, maybe 5 2/3 innings. That's it. You've got to be able to get 6, 7 innings out of the starters. Twins have not been able to do that other than Barrios. He's the only one who's gone at least 7 innings 4 times. That's it.
Sadly, I agree with you. I know what you're saying, but sadly, the game has changed to the point where if a manager knew that his starter was going to give him 6 innings and no more, 6 innings every night, he'd be thrilled to death. The average start in the major leagues through April was 5 1/3 innings.
And that's what the Twins average is right now.
Yelich takes a strike, and it's 2-1.
And we've talked about it quite a bit, what it does to the bullpen when you do that. You're asking guys to get 5 outs when normally they get 2 or 3 outs, or asking a guy to come in the 4th inning that normally pitches the 6th. I mean, you get everyone out of whack and everyone loses their roles, and that's when it really affects a bullpen more than anything. You rely on those guys so much now, and when you ask a guy to pitch 2 innings, 2 1/3, and all of a sudden he's not available for 2 days, and it just affects everyone in so many ways when the starter doesn't pitch deep into games.
You know, it used to be, well, maybe 11-man pitching staffs, but now it's every club has 13 now. 13.
Fly ball, center field. Cain is out there.
Good inning.
Wind knocks it down a little bit again. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Romero, and a 2-1 Twins lead.
to St. Louis this afternoon, where Philadelphia's Odubel Herrera launched his 6th home run of the season. But this one means his on-base streak is up to 45 games. It's the 4th longest streak in Phillies history and the longest in baseball since Freddie Freeman reached safely in 46 straight games back in 2016. Now, he has a ways to go for the all-time record of 84 straight games set by Ted Williams back in 1949, guys, but still a very impressive streak nonetheless.
Weren't they asking Gabe Kapler for his job earlier in the season? I mean,
well, when you go out to the mound and ask for a pitching change and there's no one warming up, that's a problem. You got to have somebody warming up if you're making a call to the bullpen.
I'm not going to put that all on him. I'm also going to say, he's got a bench coach. He's a rookie manager. He needs some help sometimes too. So
2 strikes to Kepler leading off the Twins' 3rd. Kepler drew a walk his first time up. And a check swing, but he went, according to Mark Ripperger. And Kepler's gone on strikes, 1 away. A little bookkeeping, if you'll allow me. Last inning, the Twins challenged both a play at second and first on the double play grounder. They went 1 for 2 in their challenges, and they do retain their challenge. Even though one appeal or challenge was successful, one was not, they did get one right, so they retain their challenge. Here is Eddie Rosario. He bounced into a double play without a challenge in the first inning. Half swing and a strike.
This tells me the kind of deception that he has is how many check swings you're seeing from major league hitters on 89 to 91 mile-an-hour fastballs. I mean, this is probably the 10th check swing we've seen so far. Guys just aren't seeing the ball off this guy.
Slow breaking ball left up high.
Well, I mentioned last inning, straight over the top, pretty quick release point as far as his arm whipping through to get that ball toward home plate. And we talked about a little bit in the pregame, Justin, about you're talking about angles and stuff like that, but here's a young guy. If you look at the scouting report, which all the players did, with 98 pitches, 89 fastballs, well, what are you looking for? All of a sudden now he's dropping a curveball on him.
And his ability with that cutter, he's pitched inside enough to speed the hitters up, make them conscious of that, and all of a sudden they see a ball coming towards the middle of the strike zone and they're thinking they need to get the barrel out quick or they're going to break their bat. And the biggest outs that happened, the double play and the strikeout, were on that curveball in the dirt because guys were so conscious of that cut fastball coming in under their hands.
And Rosario takes a call, 3rd strike, 2 down.
And after the breaking balls, he freezes Rosario, picks up his 4th strikeout on a fastball right down the heart of the plate. So Eddie definitely looking for something else right here, because you don't see Rosario take too many pitches. He was guessing, he just guessed wrong.
92 down Main Street. And that'll be probably the only time this year Eddie Rosario will not swing at that pitch. Here is Escobar. Half swing. There you go again. Another check swing for a strike.
And most of them have been up in the zone also. It's like they're waiting for it to come down, and it's just the spin rate that we talked about in the pregame show. When that ball's extra fast coming to home plate, we used to say that it seems like the ball jumps on you or the ball gets on you. Well, the numbers say that he has an above average spin rate on his 4-seam fastball, so it appears like it's 91, and all of a sudden it just jumps late when it gets close to the plate, and it's beating these hitters and it's surprising them. And it's,
I said last inning, it's kind of, hitters would say, sneaky fast. Yep. I feel like I'm on it, but it's already by me. How do you make the adjustment as a hitter?
Try and slow yourself down, set your sights, maybe shrink your strike zone a little bit, either down in the zone or.
Well, he's beaten Escobar twice on pitches. Escobar usually hits hard. He strikes out the side in the 3rd. in the country and purchase all of it tax-free if you're buying clothes. It's home to the country's trendiest discount retailer, Target, and the largest shopping complex in the country, Mall of America. Learn about shopping destinations at exploreminnesota.com and share your favorites with #OnlyInMN. And here tonight, it's buy one, get one free. We got two former Twins greats in the booth here. We got Bert Blyleven. We're paying him, and we're getting Justin Morneau free.
Awesome. I like that.
Here's Jesus Aguilar. And boy, has Romero ever looked a whole lot better here since the first inning than he did in the first inning.
Well, you know, sometimes as a pitcher, I said, that's sometimes the hardest inning. We saw that from a lot of the former pitchers. You know, I was that way. Brad Radke was that way. You know, you got to get through that first inning, see what's working. Well, he got out of that first inning. It was an unearned run off of Romero, but he was settled down, retired 7 straight. Good sinker there.
It seems like both guys, Freddie Peralta seemed to settle in last inning, also struck out the side. So it's maybe the pitching matchup that we're.
High fly, center field. Cave is back, still going back at the wall, leaping. It's gone. Game tied. Aguilar with his 3rd home run of the series to straightaway center field, and it's 2 apiece.
That's a strong young man right there. That wind is blowing in pretty hard from left field. I don't know if that affected that ball or not, but he hit that ball a long ways to center field.
Well, I was watching them take batting practice, and he did the same thing in batting practice. He's one of these guys, you know, that short, compact, strong uppercut swing right there, Justin.
Yeah, he's anybody that's that tall has to have that short of a swing, and you see how close he keeps his elbows to his body when he swings. It allows him to get to the ball directly.
Tap to Morrison, chest high hop. He'll go to the bag for the first out.
And that home run allowed by Romero, his first major league home run allowed.
One down, and now Domingo Santana. Santana with a ground ball to short to wrap up a very stressful first inning for Fernando Romero. He walked a couple, gave up the unearned run. A ball hit right to Dozier. After the home run, he's gotten 2 ground ball outs on 3 pitches. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. And now Ji-Man Choi. Pitches up, ball 1.
It's surprising to me to see the approach they've had after that first inning. They made him throw a ton of pitches. They got his pitch count up there, looking like they're going to get into the bullpen of the 4th or 5th inning. And they've made a ton of pitches or outs on the 1st or 2nd pitch of the at bat. It used to be one of those things consciously as a team in the dugout we would talk about and say, hey, let's get him out of there in the 5th. Let's run his pitch count out, have good at bats. And it was one of those things you talk about and try not to let a guy settle in like this. But they're making quick outs on pitches they don't want to hit. You know, some balls down below the zone on the fringes of the strike zone. They're not getting the pitches they want to hit, but they're still swinging. They're making outs, and they're allowing him to look like now he can pitch into the 6th inning or 7th inning of this ball game.
Yeah, but sometimes as a hitter, Justin, are you taking some of your aggressiveness away? I mean, you're looking for a certain pitch and you're wanting to drive it somewhere. It just so happened, you know, a couple ground ball outs. You don't want to get to where you're 2 strikes either. Now you're, you know, expanding your swing zone.
A strikeout ends the inning, but the inning starts with an Aguilar home run, and it's 2 apiece.
Today, members of Team USA women hockey team who won gold, and that includes goaltender Maddie Rooney, who threw out the first pitch today ahead of the game against the Milwaukee Brewers. She is with me now up in left field. Maddie Rooney, it's good to see you. How has life been with that gold medal around your neck?
Be here. Yeah, it's just been awesome, and to be here and throwing out the first pitch. It was a ball, but I mean, I've accepted it. I'm over it.
I was going to say, considering what you did in the Olympics a couple months ago, that had to be a walk in the park.
No, I still got so nervous for it, but.
How has life been for you now that it's all sunk in? What is it like to think back to what you guys were able to accomplish?
Yeah, it's all starting to sink in for us here now, and we're off our media tour, starting to share it back with families, go on some vacations, just relax. And looking back on it, it's just been just a whirlwind, and it was so cool to experience that with a special group of women.
Speaking of that special group of women, 8 members of the team with connections to Minnesota. What was that like to experience that and represent Minnesota, aka the state of hockey?
Yeah, I grew up playing with a lot of these girls, and we're a pretty tight-knit group, the Minnesotans are, and to go into the Olympics with them, it was just really special. And I mean, it was great to be on the team with them. There was a lot of Boston people too, so to bring take the state of hockey to the Olympics was just really cool.
And now what's next for you, returning back to Minnesota Duluth next year for another year with the Bulldogs, right?
Yes, in August. I'm excited to get back up into my college routine. So,
well, best of luck. Congratulations on everything you've already been able to accomplish in your career, and best of luck going forward.
Thank you so much.
Guys, back to you.
Oh, what a great experience.
2-1 the count to Logan Morris, and then Robbie Grossman and Jake Kay facing Freddie Peralta up and away. Now, that was a few months ago. My memory isn't quite as sharp as I'd like. The United States won the gold medal, and who did they beat again?
It was probably somewhere up north.
Yeah, a little bit north of Minnesota.
Oh, was it Canada?
I met the American curlers, American gold medal hockey. Just happened to be at the ballpark, and
Morrison draws a leadoff walk, and he'll go to first base. Did you watch much of the Olympics?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big Winter Olympics guy.
Yeah.
That's fun. I love watching curling. We had some world champions actually came out of my city. We have there's a big curling club in New Westminster, British Columbia. So it's a.
Now, have you curled yourself?
Yeah, it's hard.
Oh, I know. We did on the Winter Caravan a couple of times.
Balance and touch and everything. It's a really
throw
hard
the
thing.
rock.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't any good at it, but I enjoyed it.
I tried it on the Caravan up at Bemidji. They usually have us going to the Bemidji curling club up there, which is where I think you went, right?
Yeah.
As I understand it, the rock, you're not supposed to go farther down the ice than the rock is, right? The rock is supposed to.
You're not supposed to. How'd you do?
Well, I didn't do well. 1-0, and now a strike 1-1. Well, the Twins had a lead. Now it's gone. Morrison draws another leadoff walk. The third inning out of 4 where Peralta has issued a leadoff walk. Grossman lobbed a single into right field his first time up. Popped up. Chased by Shaw. And in foul ground, he makes the catch, and that'll bring up Jake Kay.
I think what we've seen from Morrison in the month of May is more the type of hitter that he is than we saw in the month of April. I think maybe the late start in spring training affected him, and you're seeing him. He looks a lot more comfortable at the plate. He's taking his walks. He's seeing a lot of pitches. He's the guy that the Twins signed as a free agent, expecting this type of production from him, and it's been a nice turnaround for him to see what he's been able to do this month.
And now with Joe on a disabled list, he'll get a chance to play every day, and sometimes that helps a player, does it not? Where you just don't have to worry about 4 at-bats.
Deep to right field, down the line, and gone!
Yeah.
Jake Kay with a 2-run home run, his first big league hit. And the bench asking for the baseball. It ended up in right field. What a night for the Kay family.
That is awesome.
I got chills. That's special. That's special.
Well, we've seen the tools here. His speed kept him and the Twins out of a double play in the second. And now a rocket for a 2-run home run.
Yeah, Jeff Smith, the first base coach, got the ball. Wow.
There's no feeling like that in the world. That's hit your first home run in the big leagues, your first game. I mean, you can't write it any better than that. I'm sure he's going on about 2 hours of sleep. And
Adrianza pulls the bat back, and it's 2-0. How many games for you? Do you remember offhand, roughly?
5 or 7.
Was it in Kansas City? Was that your first one?
Kansas City, and I played at home against Colorado and I think Arizona, and then we went on the road. I'm not sure.
You put one in the parking lot.
Your call sounded kind of like an about time or something like that.
I said that?
Wasn't quite a. I think it was. That's what we've been waiting for, or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. And you went on to hit how many more? 200 and some, right? How many home runs did you get?
Yeah, 240 something more than that.
3-0, and Adrianza
That's
takes it.
nothing. I gave up 430 of it. It only took me one batter to give up a home run.
First batter you faced?
First batter I ever faced, yeah.
Oof.
But we won the game 2-1.
Yeah, see, we were getting beat, I think, is more of the.
It was a deep foul, 3-2. Did you get the baseball by chance?
I did. I think it landed on Joe Randa's car or something.
Yeah.
It was a weird.
Yeah. It bounced. I can still see it in my mind. It bounced and bounced out of the ballpark, rolled down a hill, and ended up on somebody's car.
Yeah, it was. I got it back though. I have it. I think my dad has it somewhere.
And Adrianza takes a walk. Let's take a look. A replay of Cave's home run. It did not take long to leave the ballpark.
Jumping on that first pitch, a fastball. Boy, that's where you like it. Thigh high, middle in, don't you, Justin?
A danger zone to the left-handed hitters, and he hit it, and he knew it was gone. There's nothing like a no-doubter for your first big league homer. And then to get the ball back and not have to trade anything for it, that's pretty cool.
Replay brought to you by Dodge and a trip to the mound with Freddie Peralta giving up another leadoff walk, his third of the evening.
Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, out to talk to his young 21-year-old. Peralta will be 22 next month.
Inning started with a walk to Logan Morrison, and Morrison, as we said, will get more playing time because Joe Mauer, the Twins aren't describing it as a concussion because he passed some level of the concussion protocol last night, but concussion-like symptoms that apparently are rooted in a diving attempt he made in Anaheim a few games ago, and we didn't think much of the play at the time, other than the fact that it was a really athletic move and attempt by a really athletic first baseman. There's Wilson. Ground ball hit to short, and it'll be a double play to end the inning. But Jake Cave just showed up here today. He's had a profound impact on this game thanks to his 2-run home run. Justin, you took a look at his spin rate, which is kind of currency for pitchers now. That's kind of how pitchers are very often evaluated.
Yeah, and I think the spin rate, so basically what it is how many or how fast the ball is making those revolutions towards home plate, how fast it's spinning on a four-seam, making those revolutions. And we talked about it earlier, but they realized with Romero when he was in the minor leagues that his four-seam actually had below average spin rate, so they told him to throw a lot more two-seamers and throw the same ball with the same velocity but let it move more. So he's one of those guys that you won't see this new style of throwing that four-seam fastball up in the zone and these guys to counteract this uppercut swing that everyone has. He's relying on that velocity and the movement that he has, which is the opposite of Mr. Freddie Peralta on the other side, who has above average spin rate on his four-seam fastball, and he's getting those swing and misses on those high fastballs like I talked about. So it's a contrast of two pitchers and their pitching styles, and the new data, the new information we have allows the front office and the people to look at these things and say, okay, this is what your strengths are, this is what you do well, and to be successful we want you to do more of this, and it's worked out well for Fernando so far.
2-1 to Jonathan Villar. And it's Manny Pena and Orlando Arcia. And if Romero can put up a couple of zeros here, pitch count is much more in line now, thanks to some quick at bats, if not quick innings.
Yeah, 30 pitches in the first, and then 14, 13, 10.
That's 96, and it seems to just jump out of his hand.
It's easy. You can see it on the other side. It's like a max effort, throwing everything at you to get it 92 and throw it by hitters, and he's fluid, smooth. All of a sudden that ball's out of his hand and it's by you, and 96 is hard to catch up to in that spot.
2-2 to Villar.
Oh, I like what I've seen from Romero. He made the adjustment from that first inning where he really struggled with his control. Remember, Bobby Wilson a couple times had to dive to get balls into his glove, but he's really settled down nicely.
I think the hype machine might have got both of them a little bit. We built this pitching matchup up like it was two 10-year vets going against each other, and it's a guy with one big league start and a guy with a handful of big league starts going against each other, and we're treating them like two Cy Young winners. And we have to remember that they're young, they're still learning, they're making mistakes, they're not going to be dialed in every pitch they make. They're going to be bumps along the road, and they're going to be those learning experiences. And when you see him do like he's done today, make the adjustment in game instead of waiting till he gets to the bullpen in between starts, that's when you know you've got someone who's really capable of being a good big league pitcher.
A little bit low. And yet, I mean, look at it this way. If you added their ages together, they would not be as old as Bartolo Colon.
True. Good sinking fastball here. You can see Bobby Wilson trying to bring it up a little bit.
I don't forget who coined the phrase, youth is wasted on the young. But when you're 23 and 21 and you've already experienced some success up here, boy, to me, the ceiling is awfully high, both for the Twins guy and the Brewers guy. Chopper toward the hole. Nice stop at third. Escobar can't get the handle on the ball. And Villar will reach on an infield hit. Don't know that they would have gotten him anyway. It's a base hit.
Yeah, good effort right there by Escobar. Villar, who gets down that line very quickly. You know, take a look right here. Now, you know, Escobar playing pretty deep. He has to go to his left. He's got it in his glove and then into contact with the ground, I think, and he's trying to get the exchange. Let's take a look at the baseball right here. What you were talking about, Romero, and the spin speed. You know, a lot of times as kids, you're taught to throw a four-seam fastball, kind of like this. Well, the Twins wanted him to throw this way. Why? Because here you're only utilizing the seams right here on top. As we come back, and these seams right here with a four-seam fastball, but a two-seam fastball, now you've got your hand on these seams, and that's where you can create more of the quick
movement, the sink,
movement, right.
And the really good ones, the really good pitchers who have a good two-seamer, they can put more pressure on one finger and make it go one way, and more pressure on the other finger to make it do something else.
And the reason everyone doesn't throw that is because it's a little harder to control, because the ball moves more, so you have to have a little better feel for it. The four-seamer is a little easier to keep straight because there's more resistance going against the wind.
It goes further too. I could attest to that. Yeah.
But
that's why at the end of my career I threw a lot of two-seamers, and they all had cuts on them too.
How'd that happen?
Yeah, you wouldn't like these balls now because they throw them out after every.
I don't like it this game at all anymore.
1-1 to Pena.
I love this game, but boy, they everything for the pitcher, for the hitters, nothing for the pitchers. Ball in.
You got a rosin bag out there.
Nobody uses a rosin bag anymore.
Well, why should you use the rosin bag when they're taking pine tar out there?
Good point. No, we're actually rosin bag and pine tar make it sticky.
Oh, is that right?
I can attest to that.
1-1 to Pena. Up and in, 2-1. Brewers are enjoying a 6-2 road trip in cities that last year hosted playoff teams: Colorado, Arizona, and Minnesota.
Yeah, they're playing well on the road. 17-9 on the road. They've won 9 out of their last 11 games on the road.
Pepper, foul. And everything we started to say about Romero and the tempo picking up and all that, now long at bat by Villar, and he gets an infield hit. And his rhythm is disrupted with a runner at first. Things have slowed down considerably.
Twins have hit into 2 double plays. Let's see if Romero can pick up one here. Need a ground ball. Need that 2-seamer down. And Villar at first base, 7 stolen bases in 9 attempts.
Touched on it last night. Logan Morrison's a left-handed throwing first baseman, and that's makes it a little bit easier to slap down a pickoff tag.
As you're just a little bit closer, you don't have to turn your body and reach across your body to tag that runner's hand.
There goes the runner. The pitch lifted to deep right center field. Kepler chasing it, and that ball is off the wall, and a long bounce. Kane picks it up. They're waving the runner home, and it'll be an RBI double for Manny Pena. And it's a 4-3 game. A lot of things broke right for the Brewers there, not the least of which is sending the runner, and that allowed Villar to score on the double.
Villar got a good jump on that pitch too. He was running on the pitch. He ends up not knowing if it's going to get caught.
Yeah, not a bad pitch down, but you can see the uppercut swing right there. And the one hop that gets by Kepler, but Villar was already at second base, so he scored easily.
Tying run at second, nobody out. The number 9 batter, Orlando Arcia. Breaking ball in the outside corner. Again, the sign of a team that's playing good baseball. Other guys take a lead and they come right back and strike for a comeback run, at least one, here in the 5th inning. And there is strike 2.
2 good sliders to get ahead in the count. Merrill does have 2 strikeouts in the ball game.
Yeah, the Brewers seem to be able to foul off a lot of his pitches. That's why he only has the 2 strikeouts. Tapper back to the mound. He alertly looks the runner back and throws to first. One away.
That's the old pitcher's fielding practice in spring training. Do that over and over and over again so you don't panic when you get in that situation. He catches it, looks the runner back, makes a good throw to first, keeps the runner where he's at.
A good slider right there, and Arcia hit it back to him. Little PFP, pitcher's fielding practice.
And that reminds me that the Twins had an early workout here today with a little extra PFP. Trying to tighten some things up. And drilled in the ribs. Kane really got smoked. A tailing fastball. I think it got him in the ribs. That one hurt just watching it.
You see the 2-seam elbow.
Maybe in the elbow.
Tricep elbow.
How's that spin rate now?
This is one of those ones you hope this doesn't turn into a situation where you're in the dugout and you're going, okay, there was a base open. He hits him with the first pitch. He hasn't really had any misfires all day. Now are they going to look at it and go, okay, do we need to send a message and throw something at the Twins right here? Even though you know it's a young kid who threw 30 pitches in the first inning and his command wasn't there. You never think it's on purpose, but sometimes teams feel like they need to hit a guy because their guy got hit. And I never agreed with that when a pitch got away. If it looked like it was intentional, then okay, defend your guys.
You would know when it's intentional right there. And I talked about Kane last night. He's kind of a diver, so even though that ball was in on him, you know, he didn't give way.
Outside to Yelich, tying run at second. Go ahead run is at first. One away.
And I think the last thing you want to do is face Christian Yelich with an extra base runner on. being the quality major league hitter he is.
Twins activating the bullpen now. Here's a chopper up the line. And Romero will make the tag. Everybody moves up, but now 2 are gone. Pena the tying run at third. This summer, the World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1. Every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. 2 men in scoring position for Jesus Aguilar, and he has a sacrifice fly and a home run already in the ball game tonight after a 2 home run night last night. Speaking of spin rate, there's Ryan Preston. He's got a lot of it. And the Twins are hoping that Romero can get through the 5th inning with the Twins in front.
Well, I think that Wilson's going to be very careful in calling what pitches here. There's a breaking ball down. Yeah, first base open. Aguilar's been swinging a pretty good bat. Mentioned it. 2 home runs last night, already a home run tonight.
That's a lot of trust in your catcher right there to be able to throw a ball in the dirt like that, knowing that he's going to block it with a runner on third base right there.
Pitch number 89 for Romero.
Wilson wanted that ball away.
Where he threw it, I'm not sure that Aguilar could have hit it any place but where he did, but boy, that made a loud sound, didn't it? And here comes Escobar to the mound. This is the first time I think we've had an infielder instituted mound visit. Now the catcher Wilson will come to the mound.
Oh, that's called getting the head of the bat out.
And that's missing the spot, but I think maybe they go out there and just say, settle him down and say it's just a long strike. It doesn't mean anything.
Imagine coming to target field and sitting where that ball ended up and probably sitting, getting your seat and saying, oh, we'll never get a ball here.
1-1 to Aguilar.
Buy a lottery ticket.
Off the plate, 2-1. Just watching how this all unfolded here. First, Escobar came to the mound. Then Wilson went to the mound. Escobar left and then came back, but it all added up to just 1 mound visit. And the Twins have 4 left. 2-1. Oh, to the backstop. Romero will not get to the plate. Wilson won't get to the ball on a wild pitch, allowing the tying run to score. It's the second wild pitch aided run for the Brewers tonight.
This is an interesting situation to me. If they didn't want to pitch to him, sometimes it might be easier just to intentional walk.
That's why I mentioned first base was open right there to a guy that's already hit 3 home runs in a game and a half. So see that ball off the tip of the glove, and sometimes when it hits that, in the limestone back there, it'll ricochet back toward the plate.
3-2. Aguilar was ready to take first base.
Look back to the point I'm trying to make is, if he's a young guy who probably hasn't had to pitch around anyone in the minor leagues, probably not really accustomed to it, and you're asking him to do something different, and then he's making sure he doesn't make a mistake and he misfires that bat, it ends up being a run. If you don't want him to pitch to him, sometimes it's easier just to put up the 4 and he'll look and go, okay, there's a left-handed hitter on deck. Are you sure you want to load the bases for who was coming into this series on this road trip their hottest hitter?
Shaw, right.
So that's where the manager really comes into play. It's a tough decision for him. Do you want to walk him and load the bases? All the rest of it, it's interesting to see how it's played out.
Popped up weakly, right side. Morrison across the line makes the catch. And the Brewers answer with 2 right away in the top of the 5th to tie the game. is presented by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. By Grant Casino, the best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. Bottom of the 5th coming up now.
That's the new bat and barrel, correct?
Yes.
Show.
Yeah, that used to be the Metropolitan Club. Now it's the Bat and Barrel.
Pretty nice.
We had a concert going in there last night when we were doing our show down the right field line. So
really?
Every Friday night, I guess there's a concert or
a post-game concert.
Yep.
Oh.
Seemed like people were enjoying themselves. The place was full, and I think it gives fans somewhere to sneak off to late in the game.
It's cool.
Ball 1 to Brian Dozier, leading off the Twins' 5th against Freddie Peralta. There's a deep drive down the left field line. And a foul ball. We mentioned it last night. Twins pitchers have given up 4 home runs this year that have hit the foul pole. And it looked like that one, if anything, might have gone over it. We'll show you the replay and show you that it was indeed a foul ball. Oh, yeah, by plenty.
He hit it just high enough where that wind helped push it foul. There's no wind. I think that's a home run.
Down and away, 2-1. Breaking ball for a strike.
It's interesting to see. It's the hardest hit ball he's given up, and now he's gone straight to that curveball right away.
I was going to say that might be the last fastball that Dozier, I think he wanted time right there. There's another breaking ball.
3-2 to the leadoff man. There have been 3 leadoff walks issued by Peralta here tonight.
I'd be surprised if he throws another curveball right here. Go back to that bread and butter, his fastball that he knows he can command and throw for a strike.
Five innings started by Peralta, and 4 times he's issued a leadoff walk.
Just to go to our point that we talked earlier, Dick, leadoff walks, what Gene Mauch said 70%. Well, there have been now 5, but 4 prior leadoff walks, 3 scored. What is that? What's the percentage of that?
75, I believe.
Yes.
My elementary school teacher, Darlis Forcier, is listening. She's beaming with pride. Peralta checks out in a tie game. In the bottom of the 5th inning, and Max Kepler with 2 more extra base hits last night against left-handed pitching.
And one off former teammate of mine, Boone Logan, victim of a home run also. But it'll be interesting to see what they do to him today in this at bat after he showed that he could pull the ball hard. He laid off some tough breaking balls. You got a left-handed specialist that's been around and can get left-handers out. So how are they going to approach him? It's going to be interesting.
See what he's done and how much he's improved. And even the plate appearance we didn't talk about, he fell behind 0-2 to Suter and came back and got a walk, which is another example of a hitter, I would think, who's seeing the pitches pretty well.
Yeah, and again, he's not jumping out there. His head's not moving too much. He seems to be under control with his body, and it's allowing him to see the ball. And that little adjustment he's made, choking up just a little bit on the bat, giving himself like he feels like he has more time.
And Jennings a new pitcher, and Kepler takes strike one.
Yeah, Jennings in his first season with the Brewers. He went to camp this spring with the Tampa Bay Rays, was released by the Rays, and then about 5 days later picked up by the Brewers in late March. Done a good job out of that bullpen.
Little roller left side, and they will get the lead runner, getting Dozier at second in right off the end of the bat. Kepler reaching on a fielder's choice. Are you game for a little excitement?
Yeah.
Head to foxsportsnorth.com, submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle during our broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets. With the Minnesota Lottery, every day is game day. Here's Eddie Rosario. Double play grounder in the first, called out on strikes in the third.
I'll be surprised if he throws him the same first pitch fastball that he threw to Max Kepler this at bat. Rosario doesn't let those ones go by.
That's loop to left, soft single. And Rosario advances Kepler to second base.
Well, Jennings not an overpowering left-hander, but his slider is his best pitch, and that's what he threw right there to Rosario. He just kind of inside outed it, picked up the base hit.
And as a hitter, you say that makes up for that lineup that I had, or the ball that I've hit hard, because he hit that ball off the end of the bat. But sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it.
Where you hit it. Yeah.
One of the reasons Escobar's been penciled in as the cleanup batter, and one of the reasons he's done so well situations like this. Didn't make any contact as a left-handed batter, but now they bring the lefty in, and the cleanup batter just has to swing over to the other side, where he might be feeling more comfortable these days anyway.
Hitting .333 as a right-handed hitter, 12 hits and 36 at-bats for Escobar.
Outside, ball one.
This is kind of why this lineup works out this way. Also, you have him hitting between two left-handed hitters. You're not going to bring in a righty in the fifth, and you're not going to use two relievers at this point of the ballgame.
Right.
So you get Escobar a favorable matchup right here with runners in scoring position because of the right-left lineup.
Double play grounder, Arcia to second, and a relay to first. Third time already in 5 innings that the Twins have wrapped into a double play. And we head to the sixth, tied at 4.
certainly been an eventful debut for Jake Cave, showing off the defense, nice base running, and of course the monster home run. It was all witnessed by his friends and family. I'm here with his father, Brian Cave. Brian, what was it like as a proud dad to see your son have a monster hit like that in his MLB debut?
Oh, incredible. That's stuff you dream about, and it's just, stuff that don't happen, but every father would be proud of that.
And that is a moment that if it happened 5 minutes earlier, you may not have been able to see. Walk us through the craziness that today has been for you.
Well, Jake couldn't get a hold of me last night. I just come off of a bus trip with my college team from Pennsylvania. So I didn't get the call until about 5 o'clock this morning. And trying to get arrangements to get out was tough. I was able to get them, and then the plane was delayed going from Virginia to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then the only way to get here was to change airline carriers, which I did. And I got here, got in a taxi, got here, dropped my stuff off at the hotel, walked in, and he hit the home run. So, timing was great. 5 minutes, I probably wouldn't have seen it. So it was great. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Sure.
What was it like to be able to experience this with your family members, knowing just how much he's put into his baseball career to finally see it come to fruition here in the big leagues?
Oh, yeah. Everybody here has had a huge amount of input in his career. I probably get more credit than I deserve sometimes, but his AAU coaches, his mother, his sisters followed him, his friends, and back there's parties back in Virginia right now watching the game. So it's a big thing around our area because, it's a baseball area, but just everybody doesn't make it.
Well, it was quite a moment, a very impressive start for your son. Congratulations. We wish him all the best, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Guys, back upstairs to you.
Meanwhile, we've got a little drama here. Shaw thinks he was hit by a pitch, but Mark Rippinger, the home plate umpire, said no, it hit his bat.
Let's take a look right here from Taylor Rogers, who's working inside.
Well, we had that a few games ago where the ball hit the knob of the bat.
This will give us a good.
Didn't do that either.
Hit the front finger of his right hand and then hit his back elbow. But I think he said he swung. I think that's what he was.
Is that okay?
That's my guess. I don't know, but that's one of those ones where I was standing up here asking him to check with the third base umpire to see if he swung, because it looked to me like he swung at that pitch.
Now Paul Molitor engaged with Rippinger. If he swung at it, it's a strike.
And he's
obviously
out, right? Or is it the second strike?
Might be a foul ball if he swung at it, made contact.
But if you swing and it's a dead ball, right?
No, they're trying to, I think, figure out whether Rippinger called him out on strikes. And if that's the case, why Shaw's even back in the box? At any rate,
still be a foul ball if it made contact with a bat.
But if it hit him and he swung, there's a liner just out of the reach of Escobar, and Shaw will end up at first base anyway.
And we're still confused.
Taylor Rogers is the new Twins pitcher, and he's just given up a leadoff single in the sixth.
Yeah, it's been a little struggle for Taylor. The high earned run average. He's worked 17 appearances, 16 2/3. He's given up 20 hits, 11 runs all earned.
He had 4 straight scoreless outings going, and then he gave up a run in an inning and 2/3 against the Cardinals. Here's Santana. Twins have hit into 3 ground ball double plays. This would be a nice opportunity for them to turn their first. Now missing again, 2-0. Santana with 2 ground balls, 1 to short, 1 to second. At the knees, 2-1. Brewers had an early lead. Twins took a lead. Brewers tied it. Twins took another lead. Brewers tied it. The outside corner, 2-2.
It looks like it's going to be a battle of bullpens the rest of the way. both managers protecting their young starting pitchers.
Getting him out of there. In Romero's case, 5 innings, 4 runs, 3 of them earned.
He threw 94 pitches.
2-2 to Santana. Now a full count.
Rogers, let's go.
One thing Taylor Rogers was last year, very, very consistent. 7 wins out of the bullpen, ERA at 3.07. Now, as a reliever, you're going to have some outage. You're going to give up 3 or 4 runs in 1 inning, and all of a sudden that ERA explodes. Takes you a long time to get it back down.
Right down. Well, Santana takes a call, third strike.
Big strikeout right there for Taylor Rogers.
1 down, and that'll bring up G-Man Choi.
Now, we saw Rosario earlier in the ballgame take a fastball right there, or maybe looking for something else, and I think Santana, same thing. Fooled by that fastball.
I always had a hard time looking for anything other than a fastball with 2 strikes. I very rarely got off the fastball. Sometimes you just get locked up and your brain gets in the way. As they say, it's hard to think and hit at the same time. So
good thing you're not chewing gum.
That's why I never did. Yeah, so it's one of those. Sometimes you just get yourself caught in between, and that fastball sneaks up on you, it goes by you, and you're walking back to the dugout going, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Off the plate. Choi with a warning track fly ball to left. If the wind had not been blowing in as hard as it's been blowing in, that would have left the yard in the second, and then he was called out on strikes in the 4th. Double play ground.
All right, here we go. We turn one.
And Rogers faces just 3 men in a scoreless 6th. North is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And by Sling. Live TV you love, only better. Tied at 4 going to the bottom of the 6th. During the inning break, they had the Kiss Cam feature here at Target Field, ending it with the kiss at the end of the royal wedding. I'm guessing of all of us up here in the booth, I'm the only one who did not get up early this morning to watch that.
Excuse me?
Sorry.
My alarm was set for 10.
Okay.
How about you, Justin?
My 2.5-year-old alarm clock came in at about 6:30. So
there's a strike on the outside corner to Logan Morrison.
Did they get married? Was it finalized?
They did. Yeah,
okay.
It's all legal now.
Okay.
Morrison has walked twice and scored twice, facing left-hander Dan Jennings. And to right field. In fact, it may hit to the corner. Morrison rounds first, on his way to second. Santana's throw is not in time. And it's been a good night at the plate for the Twins first baseman.
You know what I saw good right there? You watched that when Morrison hit that ball past the diving Chu, and you saw where that right fielder was. He kind of found another gear. If you watch him run up the line, you saw that right fielder Santana had to go way to his left to get it. And you don't have to be told by the first base coach. Right there, he knows that he's going to make it to second.
It's amazing. It's amazing how fear makes you run a little bit faster.
Fear of being thrown out?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
On a ball off the right field wall and you get thrown out, you know you're making the highlights, so you're going, come on, Pete, let's go.
Here's Robbie Grossman, the infielder's pitching. At least the first baseman, Choi, is. There's a pitch taken for ball one.
This is interesting to see him square around right there. A similar situation early in yesterday's ball game. Trying to get the runner over, hit the ball back to the pitcher. Suter made a great play on him, but so now he's squaring around. It's a little later in the ball game, so that's maybe why you're seeing him look at the bunt, try and get the lead, kind of put their bullpen not in the order that they want it. They're not allowed to match up if they're able to get this run and play with the lead right here.
Well, you want to bunt it to third base if you're going to bunt.
Foul.
And they're swinging away. And even that on that swing, you can see inside out, trying to drive it toward the right field side of the diamond.
Well, plus they got Jake Cave in the on-deck circle. He's Mr. Offense. Morrison at second after his leadoff double. 1-1 to Robbie Grossman.
And you can see where Choi's playing. This is a National League team that's used to the pitcher being up there, bunting a lot. The National League teams are a lot more aggressive in bunt situations. It's a situation you don't see very often in the American League, but you can see Choi playing in. He's charging hard. He's trying to get that out of third, keep him out of scoring position, and National League teams have so much more experience in this situation.
Well, I'm surprised Shaw at third base is playing back, where he's not on the grass.
And Morrison, they called him out. Picked off at second base. So there goes the leadoff double. Paul Molitor with his left leg out of the dugout. The Twins will take a look, but Morrison trots off the field.
Wow, that's a setup play sometimes between the pitcher, catcher, and that middle infielder. And you can see the daylight play given by Arcia, and then the quick tag.
There'll be no challenge. You can see the tag by Arcia. Got him on the fingers before the fingers got to the bag. So there goes the leadoff double. And the count now 1-1 to Grossman.
If you're a base runner in that situation, you're aware that you don't have above average speed. You're trying to get the most aggressive lead you can and the best secondary lead you can, because you don't want to get thrown out at third base. If the guy does his job, gets a bunt down, you want to get there, and Logan just got cut off just a little bit on a. Now I think that's an advantage for a National League team there also, is with so many bunt plays and so many times that situation happens in a game.
Right.
You know, with the pitcher hitting, it happens almost once a game in the National League.
I tell you what,
like, so
when I was here in Minnesota, Greg Gagne was one of the best as doing the daylight play. That was a nice play by Arcia. The timing was perfect between him and Jennings, and then the quick tag by Arcia.
Swing and a miss, 3-2. Well, to underscore your point, in the American League coming into play today, there have been 70 sacrifice bunts, and the Toronto Blue Jays still don't have one. And in the National League, there have been 160, and one team, the Cincinnati Reds, has 20 of them. So it is a different game. And there's Grossman, who takes a walk now to fill first base, and that'll bring up Cave. Time now for tonight's Coors Light refreshing finish. 5 minutes after his dad got here to see it, he did this.
what a feeling. That's something he'll never forget. That's a once in a lifetime. You know, for the rest of his life, even if he never hits another home run, he'll always have a home run in the big leagues that he can lean back on. And you hope there's going to be a ton more for him. But that's one of those moments that from the time you're 5 years old and you first pick up a bat until this happens, that's a dream come true right there. And see if you can find a way to get another hit right here.
This time, if he gets a hit, it will be against a lefty. Reached on a fielder's choice and showed pretty good wheels getting down the line to stay out of that double play in the second inning. And that was a key play for the first 2 runs the Twins scored, because Wilson delivered a 2-run double a few minutes later inside, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, 2 straight sliders, one away. That one kind of backed up inside. That's Jennings' best pitch, that slider.
Jeremy Jeffress pitched well last night. He's warming up as we speak. 2-0 to Jake Cave. He takes a strike.
You think of what Cave's been through this year. He got traded in spring training. He was on a team that had 6 legitimate major league outfielders, a team that acquired Giancarlo Stanton in the offseason, and it looked like he was blocked, and all of a sudden he got traded, and now here he is in the big leagues and gets a home run in his first game. That's pretty awesome for him.
2-1 to Cave. Slash foul hitting the netting near the tarp. And he was acquired in a trade. I may have said earlier that he was a waiver claim, but Twins traded a minor league right-handed pitcher, Luis Gil, to acquire Cave. 2-2. Twins looking for that go-ahead run here in the 6th.
Does he go to that slider?
I think he has to.
And
he does.
Cave swings and misses at it. 2 down. And that'll bring up Adrianza.
He had a couple fastballs to hit. He took the first one, then he fouled off the second one. And again, Jennings, that's his bread and butter strikeout pitch. He goes to the slider in a great location.
Started in the zone and just ran away enough. That's a tough pitch for a left-handed hitter to lay off of. You see it so long, it starts almost right at you, and you think it's going to end up on the plate. And having never stood in the batter's box off him, that's a very tough pitch to hit.
Adrianza is a much better hitter right-handed than left-handed, so the Brewers will make a move with 2 out. And maybe the main reason, the biggest component as to why this Milwaukee team started the day in first place in the National League Central, an outstanding bullpen.
Yeah, look at the ERA combined 2.65, 11 wins out of that bullpen of the 27 wins the Brewers have. Some great arms out there. The guy right here, Jeremy Jeffress, one of the better ones. 23 2/3 innings, only 10 hits allowed. He worked in last night's ball game through 14 pitches, 9 of them for strikes in an inning and a third with a strikeout.
And for the Twins' sake, I'm looking forward to Josh Hader pitching, not for their sake, but just because I want to see you guys strike out 50 of the 81 batters he's faced. But
Adrianza fouls it back.
Well, I think when he gets in a ball game, I believe the Brewers are 15-0 when he gets into a ball game. So the Twins don't want to see him.
That's why that out at second was so crucial, because it allows them to bring him in. Now that the game's tied, it's later in the game, and you play with the lead. You probably don't bring him in if you're down by 1. You save him for situations where you're ahead, but that's not the way it happened.
Adrianza last year and again this year has been a much more proficient hitter right-handed than left. So that's why the move was made. And Jeffress has inherited 16 runners prior to tonight, and only 2 of them have scored. One and one to Adrianza. Very briefly property of the Milwaukee Brewers before the Twins picked him up. Never played for Milwaukee. He was with the Brewers in their organization for about a week in the dead of winter. Hot ground ball, but fielded by VR, and that ends the inning. We head to the 7th, tied at 4. Story of the game.
Well, on paper, you know, we're looking at 2 youngsters going at it. Peralta making just his 2nd major league start for Romero, but it's a 4-4 ball game here. Aguilar, who hit 2 home runs last night, hits a solo home run, and then Jake Cave. What a way to break into the big leagues. A big 2-run home run. That gave the Twins a 4-2 lead at the time, but the Brewers came back to tie it at the top of the 5th.
Taylor Rogers facing VR, and much like Adrianza, stronger from one side, much stronger than the other. So too for VR, who is a much better left-handed batter than right-handed batter. So Rogers left in to face at least the leadoff man here in the 7th. 1 strike. Same pitch, way out in front, 0-2.
Good breaking balls there, right there by Taylor.
Manny Pena on deck. Presley warming up. So it looks like Rogers carried over into the 7th, perhaps to face just one man. Time taken by VR, and the ball rolls to the backstop. I want to thank Justin Morneau again for stopping up and offering his thoughts. In a tie game, top of the 7th inning. Just inside, another breaking ball.
Yeah, 4 straight.
2-2 the count. Fastball gets him. VR strikes out 1 away, and here comes Paul Molitor to make the change.
Good outing for Taylor Rogers. He did give up that hit to Shaw, but then got the double play last inning. A couple straight strikeouts for Taylor in an inning and a 3rd. So after 4 straight breaking balls, fastball past Villar.
Replay brought to you by Carrier. So Rogers faces 4 men, gets 4 outs, and now Ryan Presley will try to do hopefully the same in a tie game in the top of the 7th. For a piece on a cool, brisk night here at Target Field, but our Pepsi fans of the game enjoying life and the music and everything that is Target Field. And it'll be Ryan Presley coming in to a tie ball game with 1 out, top of the 7th.
Yeah, Ryan making his 22nd relief appearance, 23 1/3 innings. 10 walks, a little bit on the high side, but 31 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 224 off of him.
And a breaking ball over for strike 1. And the walks have contributed greatly to Presley kind of leaking a little oil the last few ball games. He's given up runs in 3 of his last 4 outings, and in that time he's given up 4 runs. He's issued 5 walks, covering 3 2/3 innings. You mix in the 4 hits, and there you have it. Some unpleasant numbers. 0-2 breaking balls lifted foul.
Ryan, in his 6th season with the Twins, came up in his debut in 2013. Hard throwing right-hander, good curveball, stays on top of that pitch. Keep that left shoulder in.
Weakly rolled to short. Adrianza has it. And Morrison comes down on the bag. A high throw by Adrianza. And Pena is retired for out number 2. Partial season ticket packages are now available in the Delta Sky 360 Club. You can become a Twins season ticket holder today. Become part of the Sweet Spot Rewards program. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com or by calling 800-33-TWINS.
Nice play by Morrison right there. Never anticipate a perfect throw, and the throw was high, so he wasn't already stretched out. He was able to leap and come right back on the bag to get the out.
96 and a swing and a miss from Arce.
There you go. I gotta make sure you're looking good. Gotta make sure you're looking good. You know what? I saved you on Sports Center. Saved you on Sports Center. Throw me a bat.
Breaking ball snaps over.
Arcia.
And Presley having a real good start to his outing here.
Arcia completely fooled right there. I love it when hitters, you can make hitters do this. Watch the batter. Whoa.
0-2 to Arcia. Fouled back just over our heads. There are a lot of things that are over our heads. And now it falls beneath us. And there isn't much that is beneath us.
We got no chance.
Oh, and 2 to Arcia. Got it. A quicker breaking ball. And Presley gets a couple of quick outs. Outs 2 and 3 of the scoreless 7th. Tonight's T-Mobile Hats Off for Heroes. And Brian Dozier had a group of them here the other day. Dozier's Heroes, program in partnership with the National Guard. Military members and their families are invited to each Friday home game, and families attending batting practice get to meet Brian on the field. Very accommodating, giving pictures and autographs. Very nice program by Brian.
You know, all the players, all the Twins players do a great job of giving back to the community.
And Brian will hit second this inning, hoping that Bobby Wilson can get aboard. Jeffress a tough customer on the mound. Twins trying to retake the lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. On the outside corner, 95. One strike. Wilson, Dozier, and Kepler here in the 7th. Checked his swing, or did he? He did. 1-1. Joe West will have a plate tomorrow for the series finale. Wilson with a big 2-out, 2-run double to give the Twins a 2-1 lead back in the 2nd inning. Breaking ball, and that buckles Wilson.
Tell you what, Jeffress, he's got good stuff. Just saw the good fastball, the hard, like almost like a cut fastball, slider type, and then the curveball. See the focus he has.
And a breaking ball. Jeffress strikes him out, 1 away.
Talk about spin speed. That breaking ball right there had very good spin speed. Also tell by the reaction of the hitter. Watch Wilson. Whoop.
Where to go? Here's Brian Dozier. Brian with 2 walks and a ground ball to short. Just missed hitting a home run in the 5th inning. About 4 feet foul. Burning a fastball on the outside corner. Fouled back. A couple of fastballs from Jeffress, one at 95, the next one at 96. Jeffress has been at it for a while. His first year of professional ball, 2006. His 3rd stint with the Brewers. Half swing, but he went, and Dozier's gone on strikes, 2 away. This summer, the Minnesota Twins are offering baseball camps designed for kids ages 6 to 14 of all skill levels. Campers receive a full Major League Twins uniform, a VIP trip to Target Field, including a chance to meet a Twins player and coach, plus much more. It's as close to the Twins baseball experience as you can get without being drafted. Learn more and sign up today at twinsbaseball.com/training. Trip to the mound for Pena.
Yeah, I think they have a left-hander in the bullpen. I think this is just an opportunity, and here comes Greg Counsell.
Going to make the change and bring in Josh Hader, who's been the featured attraction in this really good Milwaukee bullpen. Hader will come in with 2 outs and the base is empty to face Max Kepler. Has been really good, and they've been able to match things up here. And this is the guy who's really emerged as a kind of a utility player out of the bullpen. He can pitch just about anywhere in the ball game.
He's a guy that can pitch multi-innings, and what a year he is having so far. 15 relief appearances, and the Brewers have been the winners in all 15 games that he has appeared in. 25 innings pitched, 50 strikeouts, and only 6 walks.
So yeah, he's recorded 75 outs, 50 of them via strikeout. Here's Kepler. Big swing. Max was ready for that fastball and had a good cut. Strike 1.
A good fastball in the mid-90s, a slider, and a circle changeup. Made his major league debut last year in June. He got called up by the Brewers.
Breaking ball bounced to first. Choi has it. Hader to the bag, and that wraps things up in the bottom of the 7th. On to the 8th, still tied at 4.
And the Brewers over at Target Field. I'm Anthony LaPanta inside Mall of America studio. Same two teams tomorrow as they'll wrap up the border battle. 12:30 for Twins Live. 1 o'clock first pitch from the ballpark as the Twins will battle the Brewers. Now let's go back to Target Field.
Not much of a ball game last night. The Brewers won handily, but this will be decided in the late innings. Tied at 4 going to the 8th inning, and the Twins will hopefully get a good inning out of Addison Reed, who's come into the ball game here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, Taylor Rogers worked an inning and a third. Ryan Presley 2/3 of an inning. Both of them did a great job. See if Addison Reed can do the same, making his 21st relief appearance.
He'll face the top of the order for Milwaukee, starting with Lorenzo Cain and Christian Yelich and Jesus Aguilar. Hader got a quick final out of Kepler. He might be left to pitch the bottom of the 8th inning as well. Cain with a big swing and a miss. Remember, he was drilled by a pitch his last time up. Made it as far as third base. Twin starter Fernando Romero smoked him in the first pitch of his 5th inning plate appearance. Down and away, 1-1. Up and away.
Kind of a homecoming for Cain, you know, a guy that originally signed by the Brewers back in 2004, then traded away, came up in 2010, got traded to Kansas City, where he had 7 very good years with the Royals.
The outside corner, Cain didn't like it. 2-2.
Reed, good fastball, hard slider. His fastball, Welch Wilson, the catcher.
You know why he didn't like it. It was outside.
Over a little bit.
And a high fastball strikes out Cain, and he looks at Mark Ripperger and then shakes his head, heading back to the dugout. 1 down.
Well, sometimes hitters complain about one pitch, but then they swing at a next pitch that's a little bit up in the strike zone. And they'll go back and say, well, you know, it's strike 2. The second strike was the strike.
That was a big difference. So that's the difference between 3-1 and 2-2.
Yeah, hitters want everything.
And pitchers don't. Pitchers just roll with the tide, right? They just, you know, stay.
No, I'd be saying thank you very much for that second strike.
You still have the same mailing address for my Christmas card list next year?
You're still on my list, buddy.
1-1. Yelich 0 for 3, a couple of outfield flies. One Jake Cave made a nice running catch on in the first. And now 2-1. That's hit well, left center field, deep to the bullpen. Gone. Christian Yelich hits his 5th of the year to the opposite field, and the Brewers take a 5-4 lead.
Well, what a beautiful swing. You know, we talk about Kepler's swing. Yelich, that same type of swing. Short, compact, a lot of power. Watch this right here on this fastball. Boy, he got underneath it. And Rosario, I was watching his reaction. Rosario took maybe 5 steps, and then that ball went halfway up the bleachers in left field.
The Brewers are back in front, and now here is Aguilar. Down and away, ball 1.
And you can hear the Brewer fans in the background.
Missing a low, 2-0. Third home run allowed by Addison Reed. And a costly one with the Brewers now taking a 5-4 lead. He's a good baseball player.
Yes, he is.
dribbler back to the mound. Reed still has plenty of time. And Morrison has to scoop out a low throw. 2 away. Yelich got a fastball down and drove it a long way into the wind.
409 feet, exit velocity, 109 miles an hour. He got that one good.
And now Travis Shaw will bat. Down and in. Ball 1.
Another good crowd here tonight. Last night just almost 30,000, and here tonight 30,182.
The question has been asked, and I've asked it. Why would this rivalry series ever have to be played 2 games here, 2 games in Milwaukee during weekdays? And the answer is it has to do with the schedule. This series can only be, there's the ball lifted to right field, only be on weekends and be a 3-game series when the 2 Central Division teams play each other in interleague play. This is that year.
This weekend, it is the CenturyLink Premier Series. So here's a look at what's next on Twins Live, the post-game show presented by CenturyLink. We will, of course, take a look at what's been an impressive Major League debut from Jake Cave, complete with a little base running, solid defense, and, of course, a 2-run home run. Tom Hanneman and Justin Morneau will also break down Fernando Romero's 4th start for the Minnesota Twins, and we'll wrap things up with the post-game press conference of manager Paul Molitor. That's call coming your way after the final out, guys.
All right, thank you. We'll see whether the Twins can come back late, steal one, maybe even have a walk-off win here. Hader delivering ball 1 to Rosario. And he leans back and takes a strike. Rosario singled his last time up. Then it'll be Escobar 0 for 3. And then Morrison 1 for 1, a double and 2 walks. Big swing with Rosario trying to tie the game up. One and 2. Rosario hitting .250 against lefties, a little over .300 against righties. A threat, lefty against lefty. Flipped foul over the Milwaukee dugout.
Yeah, Hader gives you that crossfire too, so a little harder to stay in there if you're a left-handed hitter. Josh Hader, just 24 years old.
And Rosario chases one eye high, 1 away. Tonight's box score. courtesy of Mall of America. And the lineup you will see without Joe Mauer is one you will see for at least the next week and a half. The Twins putting Mauer on the disabled list because of concussion-like symptoms. Miguel Sano's off on a rehab. He went 0 for 2 with 2 walks today in Rochester as their designated hitter. Strike 1 to Escobar. 2 strikeouts and a ground ball double play. It's been a tough ball game for Escobar. Up and away. Hits are even at 5 apiece. The Yelich home run has put the Brewers in front. Inside, missing, and it's 2-1.
You see the wind blowing through his long hair.
Close pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Escobar strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. 2 down. May 22nd is Star Wars night here at Target Field. Limited number of Star Wars night theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a Joe Solo bobblehead. Go to twinsbaseball.com/Star Wars and learn more about the Star Wars night theme night offer. Here is Morrison, doubled against a lefty his last time up. Also has drawn a couple of walks and scored a couple of runs, and Morrison comes up empty with a first pitch swing.
Hader working quickly, trusting that fastball.
Dugout blocked at least by Pena, 1-1.
I mentioned Hader, only 24 years old, originally signed by the Orioles and then traded quickly the next year to the Houston Astros. Astros put him in a starting rotation in the minor leagues. That's basically how he got to the big leagues. And then with Milwaukee, they had him in the starting rotation. And then when he came up, they put him in the bullpen, and he's been lights out since last year.
1-1 to Morrison. You saw Duke and Rodney warming up. If the Twins tie it up or take the lead, of course, it'll be Rodney. Otherwise, it looks like it'll be Zach Duke to start the 9th inning. 1-2 to Logan Morrison. Got it. Hader strikes out the side. Striking out Rosario, Escobar, and Morrison. Keep this a 5-4 lead.
He's really good. He's having a great season, and one that will continued health. We'll probably see him at the All-Star game in Washington, D.C. this summer. He's been a big reason why the Brewers have been one of the surprise teams in baseball.
I think you have to also look at Jeremy Jeffress too. You know, I mean, they got some good arms out there. Knable coming back from injuries. So they got some guys out there that are having good years.
Knable might start warming up here pretty soon. Until he does, we may see Hader come out and pitch to the Twins in the 9th. Zach Duke's pitching for the Twins. Santana unwinds with a wild swing, strike one.
Yeah, Zach coming out for the 20th time. 2 wins, 2 losses out of the bullpen. 10 walks, 3 intentional in the 14 innings, but 20 strikeouts.
And now 1-1. I don't see anybody even stretching, starting to get loose down in the Milwaukee bullpen. So we have not seen the last of Josh Hader. On the ground sharply to Adrianza. On target throw, 1 away. Join Fox Sports North for Kids in the City, benefiting boys and girls clubs of the Twin Cities. Tuesday, June 5th, tickets are $75 and includes a ticket to the Twins game. If you can't make it to the event, you can still make a difference in the lives of club kids. A donation of $5, $10, or $20 can provide meals, sports team registration, or literacy programming supplies during the summer. Tickets are on sale now at boysandgirls.org/kidsinthecity. Choi the batter, and a 1-0 count. And that is headed up the middle. A hard ground ball, his first hit of the ball game. And it comes with 1 out in the 9th. That'll bring up Jonathan Villar.
Yeah, not a lot of hits in this ball game, even though it's a 5-4 game. That hit by Choi, only the 6th for the Brewers. Twins have only 5.
Too many walks by the 2 young starting pitchers. I guess should amend that.
Yeah,
Romero only walked 2, but they both came in the first inning, and one of them scored.
And Freddie Peralta ended up walking 6.
1 strike to Villar. And now a ball. Brewers got off to a good start last year and then faded badly down the stretch. Got a lot of key players hurt. Braun, Thames, Jimmy Nelson. So they, like the Twins, have been playing without some key players, but they've played well and presumably will get some of those key players back. 2-1. Three and 1. Will put runners now at first and second with 1 down.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
And now Manny Pena will bat with runners at first and second and 1 down. Ball 1.
Well, you can see by Duke, he's kind of a finesse type lefty. He's not going to blow you away. Changes speeds well, keeps the ball, try to get him down in the strike zone, maybe get a ground ball. There's a ground ball.
5, 4, 3.
There it is.
And Duke pitches a scoreless top of the 9th inning. Yelich's home run, putting the Brewers in front with 1 out in the 8th, and now Hader's trying to make sure that that run holds up. He entered the game with the Twins hitting in the 7th. He got Kepler to bounce out, blew through Rosario, Escobar, and Morrison by striking them all out, and so he'll have a chance here to pick up the save. Robbie Grossman will lead things off, then due up Jake Cave and A-Ray Adrianza. Twins have a bench of Buxton, Garver, and Petit. Grossman takes up and away, ball 1.
Wouldn't he be the winning pitcher over a save?
Well, they took the lead. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. He came in the 7th and they got the run in the 8th. You're absolutely right. And now 2-0 to Grossman.
Well, the Brewers have 13 saves. Hader has 6 of those 13. He's looking for a win here if he can hold this on.
This is like shades of Goose Gossage and Bruce Sutter and
Terry Forster
trying to get, finish the ball game by retiring 7 men.
Well, again, a guy that was a former starter in the minor leagues, when he joined the Brewers last year, they put him right in the bullpen, and he did a great job. I mean, he's a guy that could go multi-innings.
3-0 to Grossman trying to get aboard. And he takes a strike. If he gets there, the Twins, of course, have Byron Buxton available to pinch run. Garver's already in the on-deck circle. He'll hit for Cave.
Well, it's going to be a fastball.
And he missed. Grossman's aboard. We'll see if the Twins make the move with Buxton as a pinch runner. Here he comes. And Grossman did his job.
Yeah, second time Grossman took a walk in a ball game, a big part of his good plate appearances. Good job by Robbie right there. Get on base. Hopefully Buxton can utilize his speed.
Trip to the mound here. The batter will be Garver hitting in Cave's spot. Now, one complication should the Twins tie the game but not win it. You're going to have to juggle some people around. Buxton entering the game as a pinch runner, but in the DH spot. So if you were to put him in the field, you would lose the DH for the balance.
Let the pitcher hit.
Well, we're playing a National League team. Why not, right?
It's true. Yep.
Knebel getting loose. Conference over. And Garver will bat. Garver, of course, has some pop, hitting .254.
He's done a good job as a pinch hitter. 2 hits in 3 at-bats.
16 hits, and 6 of those for extra bases. 4 doubles and 2 home runs. Last year, in a handful of at-bats, he actually hit 3 triples. Buxton at first, nobody out. Garver at the plate.
Be ready for that fastball. Of course, Hader's going to throw over a couple times.
Twins got a leadoff double in the 6th, but the Brewers picked off Morrison at second base.
Buxton 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts.
Close. Much closer than the first throw over.
Well, left-handers, of course, have the advantage of looking at that base runner and throwing right at it. Buxton just able to get that right hand on the corner of the bag.
Brewers taking a look at it, and they will not challenge. But what I think that pickoff move did, it removed any possibility that Buxton's going to try to steal. Up and away, ball 1. Said about, talked about it time and time again, how getting that man, those legs at first base, changes everything for the guy on the mound.
Oh yeah, I mean, you try to speed up because you're worried more about him taking off right here. So Hader comes set, and he's got to hurry his throw. Now another throw over. It's the 3rd time that he has thrown over to first base. He's thrown home once.
Twins have had 2 walk-off wins, but one of those was in Puerto Rico. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Asked Paul Molitor today about the catching situation with Jason Castro lost for the year, and he said right now they'll be split about half and half. Garver and Wilson. 1-1 to Garver. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Garver swinging and missing at a pair of 93-mile-per-hour fastballs. One and 2.
Just watching Hader when he has gone over, he hasn't lifted that the right leg up to his belt. It's kind of been a short, quick throw over to first. Sure, that's one thing Buxton's looking at.
Foul tip. Strike 3. 1 away.
Oh, no fooling around there for Hader. When he does throw home, it's been that fastball. 4th strikeout for Josh Hader. Went right after him. See, all 4 pitches, all fastballs.
Here is Adrianza. And as we said, he's hit nearly 300 as a right-handed batter, so his chances are better from this side of the plate, but he's got an awfully nasty lefty on the mound.
You see what I'm talking about? His throws over his right knee doesn't come up as quick, but when he does bring that knee up high, then he'll throw home.
Now with one out, maybe the Twins are more apt to send Buxton.
Well, there he did more of a slide step there.
1 strike to Adrianza. We've seen an awful lot of swings and misses with Hader's fastball. Rosario, Escobar, Morrison all struck out, and so did Carver. 1 strike to Adrianza. Now he takes a fastball.
And a higher leg kick there.
But I mean, he's done a really nice job holding Buxton at first here, because he's thrown over there. He's varied his pickoff moves, but he's also varied his delivery to the plate.
Yeah, credit him for keeping Buxton at first.
1-1. And it is what, 6th or 7th throw over.
Yeah. Well, Buxton the tying run. You see the knee not coming up as high, making sure that he stays in that plane. Back foot can't cross the pitching rubber. I say back foot, it'd be his right foot. Yeah, being his left foot. Right, left, right.
1-1.
Yeah, I think to try to steal against this guy, you just have to guess.
Go on first movement.
Yeah.
And, you know, the fact of the matter is, Buxton can steal 2nd and 3rd, but unless somebody can put the ball in play, it won't matter. 1-1 to Adrianza. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Another fastball, 94.
This game started off with Freddie Peralta, you know, almost like a sneaky fastball. And again, it's not a 97, 98 mile an hour fastball. It's 93, 94.
But it's the perceived velocity.
Right.
The way he hides the ball, the way it explodes. 1-2 to Adrianza. Went upstairs, climbed the ladder. He has struck out 5 of the 6 outs he's got. And now Bobby Wilson.
Well, he struck out the side in the 8th inning, basically on that fastball.
And a walk and 2 strikeouts here in the 9th. And with 2 outs, Buxton still at first. Here's Bobby Wilson. Strike 1.
That's a tough pitch to lay
Man alive. I thought Garver might have fouled tip strike 3. I don't know that he did, but just think of all the swings and misses on the same pitch. 0-2 to Wilson. The Twins are down to their last strike.
I bet it's a fastball.
Wow. Josh Hader blows the Twins away. And the Brewers continue their torrid play on the road as they win the first 2 games here in Minnesota.
Whew, quite a performance right there by Josh Hader. You don't see that. You're right. That's a Terry Forrester, Goose Gossage type of finish.
Tom Hanneman, the Twins ran into the Brewer bullpen here tonight. The difference in the game after the Yelich home run.
Dick, the Brewers improved to 17-2 this season against sub-500 competition. That's where the Twins are right now. Up next on Twins Live, the post-game show. We'll talk about Milwaukee's power from the bullpen and at the plate, and much more.